you know, I was going to make up some more thing about our what is her name?
In
Texas, Krystle, right?
Krystle.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Krystle.
Well, you know, it's Valentine's Day, so I thought we'd say something about Krystle and bring her on the show, you know, maybe. What do you think?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Hey, Krystle.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Nicholas, this is my friend, my good friend, Krystle, and we met on Spirit Mountain. And yes, right. She does live in Texas.
San Antonio.
Wow. Happy Valentine's Day indeed.
That's right. So, Krystle, tell me now. So you live in Texas. Where do you live in Texas?
San Antonio.
Where does your mama live, Nicholas?
My mother's moving to San Antonio. My dad lives in San Antonio.
Oh, how convenient is this? Okay, very good. No, I'm just teasing you guys. This is wonderful.
We love you.
So, Krystle, you were in the Army. Do I have that right?
You do not. Navy, man.
Oh, no. What were you in?
Navy.
Oh, the Navy. Okay, well, what the heck? Now, you told me something about going to OCS or something?
Yeah, ODS. Yep, 5 weeks.
Oh, that's what they call it in the Navy. I'm sorry. You're going to have to correct me all through this whole interview because I'm serious. I haven't a clue. So you were enlisted and then you went through and then you became an officer.
Sure thing. Yep.
Oh, I'm impressed with that. I'm telling you. So exactly what was your job in the Navy? What'd you do?
So I was a corpsman for 5 years, and then I was an officer for 3, healthcare admin.
I see. Where were you stationed? Tell us about that.
So I was in Groton, Connecticut, Atsugi, Japan, and Guam.
Oh my gosh. Which was your favorite place?
Japan, for sure.
Was it really? Did you learn Nipponese? You speak Japanese?
Very little. Like, just enough to get by.
Yeah. Yeah, like where's the bathroom?
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, you know, I wanted you to meet Nicholas today because, oh, hey, Franco, if you have those pictures of axe throwing back there, I want to prove to Nicholas that I knew more about axe throwing than, you know, and I wasn't just making this all up, but this is actually there she is.
It's harder than it looks. Trust me.
I've actually thrown tomahawks before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if you take some donuts along, you all would be just right at home. Donuts and axe throwing. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I had friends in the Air Force. We have friends, and they had a tomahawk range in their basement that they built, and it was out in South Carolina. They worked for Boeing, and they had a tomahawk range down there, and we would just throw tomahawks. It's the coolest thing to do, actually. We had a lot
really? I'm going to do this. How much they charge for that kind of thing?
Right.
It's BYOB.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, you, but I mean, Krystle, what?
So it was free. So Wounded Warrior, like everything was free. Just show up and they paid for all of it.
Oh, Wounded Warriors.
Wow.
What other programs have you been? Now, Nicholas, tell me about the Wounded Warrior thing that you went on.
You know what? The Wounded Warriors. I went on a weekend in Vegas with the Wounded Warrior Project, and they were hosting a relative of mine who was coming back from Iraq. We had tickets to the Terry Fader show, tickets to restaurants. We had a big ballroom feast. There were so many great things. I was absolutely astounded by what the Wounded Warriors did for veterans. It has brought me, it's where the seed was planted into veteran advocacy for me, was that weekend in Vegas hosted by the Wounded Warriors.
Now, I could say, without going into any details at all, but I can say that the Wounded Warriors has also helped out my family greatly, and they've gone through a lot of programs and been helped by Wounded Warriors, and I don't have anything negative to say about Wounded Warriors. Krystle, what programs have you been through with Wounded Warriors?
So I've gone through
trips or whatever.
Yeah, so clay shooting, which I have no pictures of. I'm sorry. But also, because I sucked at that. And then axe throwing, I've got a journaling thing coming up, a leather, do it yourself, a wood sign thing. So they offer a lot. Oh, and also yoga, high intensity workout. What else?
So there's a local wounded warrior representative that you interface with?
Yeah, so there's many of them. So
when you got out of the military, how did you find out that they even existed?
Oh, some of my friends in San Diego actually told me about it. And she's also a part of it. And so she was like, yeah, just sign up. They have so many things to offer. And I couldn't believe, I was like, oh my God, like, what does it cost? And she was like, it's free, like everything. You don't pay for anything. So
how long have you been out of the military?
I got out September 8th of last year.
So you haven't even been out a year.
Right.
And you're all busy doing all this stuff.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good thing. Because so does that make you feel more like part of the community and stuff? Because you have these programs and stuff to, latch into. I want to say that I go to Project Healing Waters fly fishing, and we've been on trips to Montana several times over the last 12 years, for gosh sakes, it's been now. But I absolutely love it. And I guess it's about feeling some kind of specialty and skill outside of the military that is unique and special, because, you said you went to shooting shotguns. What gauge was that shotgun? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. They just gave me a gun and I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, just shoot. Man, get out of the way. Yeah, right. I'm going to tell you, I shoot a 12 gauge shotgun at Oak Tree Gun Club, and I absolutely love shooting shotguns. And I have my very own, thank you very much. But that's right. That's right. You need to come visit. I was in the dumpster last night, and I should have taken it with me, but it isn't something you can walk down the street with in Burbank, California. You know what I mean? So they will haul my butt in and lock me up. That's what would happen there. Nicholas, do you shoot shotguns?
You know what? I haven't shot a shotgun. My little brother had a little shotgun. We went out and shot out in San Antonio on the ranges out there. My little brother's an artillery man.
Yeah.
I'm Air Force though. I don't partake any longer, but I have shot quite a few shotguns in my life.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk to you about transition programs from active duty military into VA and VA benefits and things like that. I know you sent me an email, Krystle, about the TAP program,
right,
and the transitional assistance program. Nicholas, do you know anything about the TAP program?
You know what, Gail? That's a great question. It has recently appeared on my radar. When I got out of the military, I did not have any understanding of what TAP is. I've recently learned at the VFWC through participating in TEAM that there is a transition program, and it's called TAP. I'd love to hear more.
Oh, through the Family Wellness Center with TAP?
Yes, that is where it first appeared on my radar.
Oh, okay. So we need to be able to tell people locally about the Family Wellness Center and the TAP program there, because that's an important thing. So, Krystle, tell me a little bit about your experience with the TAP program and how you interfaced with it. Was it online? Did you go into an office and meet somebody? Were they nasty to you, or were they really nice, or what exactly was that like?
So unfortunately with COVID, it was just all online.
Oh.
And so I had friends that had gotten out before everything had, progressed or whatever. And they were, in person. And they have these, 4 or 5 booklets, and I'm sitting here with one, and I'm like, I'm so confused. Like, I had more things to look at, and but even with COVID, like, they were so helpful. Any questions you had, you can call the office or stay later or go in earlier. So even with that difficulty, it was very doable.
Okay, so I have a little note here that said the process for eligibility requirements and enrollment. I think they're talking about for the VA. Yes, they are. I see it here in the rest of the line. Do you have to be disabled to receive health care at the VA? Good question, everybody. Go ahead. No, huh?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so any veteran can go in. Now, I know that there are different eligibility levels. There's service connection. Some people are required to make a co-payment. There's all kinds of things that we need to find out what our specific eligibility is, but you don't have to be disabled to go to the VA. Now, so you said something, Krystle, about women-centric culture and at the VA, and how you found out about, I don't know, you go to women's healthcare services at the VA now?
So I know for San Antonio, there isn't a specific women's health, like just by itself. Yeah. So you still have to go through your primary care provider to get, you know, GYN type services. But I think it just varies wherever you live, basically. But there's a course, I think it's through the VA general course now online. It used to be just by itself separately, but don't quote me on that.
No, that's fine. It's just whatever our experience is, you know?
Yeah, but it was great. Like, I mean, I didn't even know like half the things they offered for women. I just figured, you know, PCM, okay, well, the general checkup, all right, cool. But no, but they definitely offer just women-centered type, like just, you know, services.
Well, I was not in the women's health clinic for years. I was just in Green Perk with all the guys, you know, the Perk clinics and whatever else. Not Perk, Pace. Got the wrong thing. Pace and Perk and whatever. Yeah. The Pace clinics, you know, red, green, blue, silver one, whatever, and all these hospitals.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the name of the VA where you are, Krystle?
Audie Murphy.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Now, okay, I'm going to divert here just a little teeny bit. Audie Murphy's wife, Pam Murphy, used to work at Sepulveda VA, and I knew her.
What? Really?
She was 83 years old, and I'm just going to tell you this one quick little story. It's very short. And she created her own job. And she would go out and help the veterans, and, you know, and we're sitting there like this, waiting too long and whatever. And she'd say, could I check on your appointment for you? And she'd get their name and their last four. And then she'd go back there and see how long they were going to have to wait. And then she'd come back out and talk to the veteran and just kind of interface so that they just didn't sit there getting pissed off, you know, thinking they're going to wait forever, you know. And one day, she came out and started that process with a young man and trying to help him out. And she goes back in the back to check on his appointment time. And the guy says, well, you'd think the damn VA could get some younger people working for him here, you know. And I went, you've lost your mind. Do you have any idea that that's Audie Murphy's wife, his second wife? Second wife? I said, you know, you need to be polite when that woman comes out. Well, she came back out. He stood up and he yes ma'amed and no ma'amed her and clicked his heels, and I was happy to see it. You know what I mean? But that honestly, she did. She worked at Sepulveda VA for several years. Yeah, it was cool, man. We loved being around her, as you can imagine. So you're at the Audie Murphy VA in San Antonio. I didn't even know that was. Pardon me?
It's great. I've had friends in other places that have, you know, lagging care, I guess, but I have no complaints. Like the VA here is amazing.
Well, that's good. How are they doing with vaccines? Do you have any experience with that? Because you're probably not on the list yet.
I'm not. Yeah. So right now it's 70 and above, and I think
70 and above.
Right. Yeah. And I think it'll be probably in I think next month or so, it'll be 65. So I guess slowly but surely it'll, you know, get to us.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. You know that Nicholas and I got ours.
Right.
Yeah, we both I got my first shot January 13th and second one February 3rd. And you got yours February 4th. And we videotaped all that. So we're going to do a whole vaccine show. You got to watch that. You promise?
I promise.
Okay. I've got to collect viewers wherever I can. You know what I mean?
My dad says they're doing a great job out there in San Antonio too at the VA. He has both shots out there already, and he's doing well. Cool to report, Dad doesn't have any side effects.
Good.
And he's feeling strong. Yeah.
and Reno's doing really well. It's where I see problems, frankly, certainly not VA West LA. I mean, they're like a star, I'm telling you. But now we've got Reno's doing really well, and San Antonio's doing really well, I hear. And the ones that are having issues, and it's not a problem, but it's issues, is where they're back east and they're indoors. And, you know, because when Nicholas and I go to West LA, we're outside most of the time, you know, because of the weather's nice and everything. So we don't have to be inside with a heater going and all this stuff. And, oh, can I have a drink of water? You take your mask off. And, you know, no. So none of that goes on. So I'm really happy to hear about San Antonio, too. Now, Nicholas, do you have any questions for Krystle before we let her go? Because we've got a rest of a show to do, but I just love having her here.
Oh, so do I. Thank you for being here, Krystle.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Will you come back sometime? We'll talk about some other stuff. I'd love to have you back on the show. I don't know what for, but we'll figure out something.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, TAPS programs wise, I guess. How long do they follow you? Is there a designated length of time which the TAPS program exists, or is it something you continually have access to?
Oh, good question. Actually, I got a call last week. So TAPS program, whenever you're done, you do your paperwork, boom, bam, whatever, you're out, right? Yep. No. So they actually have a follow-up program. So they call you, the VA, they call you when you first get out, then they follow up 6 months after that, and then 6 months after that. And they just call you to follow up, you know, what do you need? Mental health, any kind of health, other, you know, basic health services, college, jobs, you know, just literally it's like a conversation with someone from the VA. It doesn't feel forced. It's just more like, how are you? Like, how can I help you? What do you need?
Now, was this after you got out or before you got out? Because I'm
So it's so after you get out, they call you. So I got out on the 8th of September, and they called me like around the 15th-ish, so a week or so. And then they just called me a few days ago. And then before I hung up, she said, we'll call you again in 6 months to follow up and see where you're at.
Now, was there any kind of interface with you while in active duty to mention that the VA even existed, or that would be an eventuality? Or what is the process currently? I mean, because you're so recently out of the military, I'm dying to know. You know,
well, for me, it's a little different because I was in Guam. So we didn't have a VSO, DAV. We didn't have any of that. So I actually filed myself the first time. So that was a little different.
You're smart. So not everybody can do that. And it's tough even for any of us. It's not something we should be expected to do. And you know that VSOs are near and dear to my heart because, you know, they're the ones that help us get those EZ forms filled out. Yeah, right. So, yes. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm thinking that we're going to say goodbye to Krystle, unless there's one more thing, Nicholas, that you want to ask before we go, because the next thing, Krystle, you keep watching, because we're going to put up a picture of the new VA secretary next. All right. Because we had an acting VA secretary, Dat P. Tran, and we did a whole little thing on him. And then we got our permanent VA secretary, and we want to show his picture in case he shows up in your VA. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, you axe throwing mama. I'm telling you.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Hey, I look forward to seeing you on Spirit Mountain again. And, you know, and I know they'll have another retreat for women veterans and stuff. And it'll be really great to get together with you again and, you know, and talk silliness.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you for being here, Krystle.
Of course. Thank y'all.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
I'll be safe.
Valentine's Day.
Thank you very much. All right, Krystle. Surprised you, did I?
We're going to have to talk about this.
Do you know how much planning that took?